Hey team, I'm so excited that you guys are on board and watching this video. I want to try to make it quick and clear so that I can respect your time and also you can have everything you need to be successful at the gym as a coach and staff member. So this is our playbook. Anytime I refer to the playbook, this is what I'm talking about. Real quickly, we want to go through our mission statement, why we do what we do. We serve our community by equipping our members with the health and fitness needed to confidently meet the demands of life. Now, the key phrase here is demands of life with confidence. We are trying to help people achieve their goals. We are trying to help moms lift their little kids with confidence, without back pain, um, in moments where they need to quickly do this to protect their family, especially men as well. We want them to do this confidently. Also, men, women who have laborious jobs, we want them to be able to meet the demands of their life with good health and confidence based on the work that they put in at the gym. So that's ultimately our goal. We're not necessarily aiming at helping that bubble athlete go to the games. That could be part of it. Obviously, that's we don't necessarily have the means to do that. We do have the resources to do that, but not the programming needs or even coaching capacity to do that. Maybe some of you guys can do that. I know I can't. All right, so we want to help our member. These are our members meeting those demands of life. It's not a limitation. It's just a clear cut target of what we're trying to do. The expectations. So for you coaches at all times, this is not just the coaching, but also attending and being around the community. We want you to build rapport and trust with members by knowing their names and fitness goals. If I ask you about a member and you don't know their fitness goals, then we're missing an opportunity there to help that member and even help yourself in continual growth. We want to maintain a high standard of professionalism and energy in every class. This is whether you're coaching or attending. If a coach is going through a workout that you're attending, and your energy is low, your demeanor is low, that's going to influence our members. Remember, you guys are the frontline leaders of what we do. So your energy, your professionalism is going to impact those around you, especially our members. We want to commit to continual growth and development as a coach. I have my L2 lined up for April. So I'm excited for that L2. It does cost a bit of money, and I understand there is some investment that needs to be made financially towards it, but it's worth it. It's worth it in the long run. We believe in the CrossFit methodology. It's why we decided to buy in. It's why I make my kids do it. I think it's a great methodology to meet the demands of life. And then be timely in communication through current platform. We switched over to Slack. So if I do post a reminder to the team, like it, give us some feedback, be timely in that communication. It is important. If I'm posting on there, it's because I value your feedback. And then when you're coaching, we want to be patient, we want to be clear, we want to be encouraging. Remember, your first time working out at a CrossFit gym or a global gym, there are a lot of vulnerabilities that you encounter. And that's because you're learning new movements, you're sweating, you're not looking your best in front of people. So we have to remember that when we have clients and members that we are working with, we want to be encouraging with them. They'll sense any negativity and they'll blame themselves for it, and we don't want that. We want to make it the best out of their day. We also want to be clear with our cues and communication, and that clarity is going to be founded on patience. We want to be consistently observing and effectively cueing our movements. This means that we are watching, we are observing during the workout. We're not looking at other things, not checking our phone. We're constantly walking the floor, not hanging out by the coach's station if we even have a coaching station. So just continually, consistently observe and effectively cue all these movements, and then serving athletes willingly. This could look like putting away barbells, equipment, gear. This could look like helping being on time with transitions. So if a member comes in at a certain time, they have that hour to work out. So we want to make sure we respect that hour, having a warm up. We'll talk more about that in the lesson planning. But these are expectations. These are broad. These are general. But this is a character that we want our coaches to have while attending classes or coaching. Did I say members? I meant coaches. Okay. Anyways, move on. Now, these are the duties. I do have kind of good news for you all, for all of you. at the end of this. So I also understand that I will ask a little more from you than you've been asked before, or maybe you have been asked this before and just it's just not been done. So bear with me, go through it with me, and then if you have questions, we can talk through it in our one-on-ones. But with that said, let's jump right in. I promise you have some good news there at the end. So, coach duties before class begins. I want a lesson plan for the day's workout. The lesson plan needs to include times of how long you're going to take to do, for example, a warm up, your brief. So, brief would come first, then your warm up, then your general warm up, specific warm up, and then your workout, whether it's split up into a strength and metcon, and then a recovery at the end. So I want that to be included in the lesson plan. I also want you before the class to understand the intent and movement patterns of workout. Some of you guys are skilled enough to not have to check the night before, even the week before, to see what the intent and movements are. Some of you guys can see a workout and see, oh, push pull. Okay, that's good. Or uh, working on gymnastic movement under fatigue. Some of you guys are able to see that. I will do my best to give you that intent and movement beforehand. That way you're not guessing, and that way we don't have three different intents with three different coaches in one day. So I will try to give that to you. I don't need you to try to recreate a wheel. I will give you what the recipe for that. So ask programmer for clarifying questions. Brandon will still continue to program. I will be inputting the programming into push press, and him and I are going to have some conversations about what that intent is, what we think it should be. So you can ask me, you can text me those questions, and I'll be more than glad to help you alleviate any misconceptions you might have. All right. So that's before class. Arrive 10 minutes prior to class. 10 minutes, I think, is a good window to, if you need to open the front door, turn on lights, ensure music clock, iPad is ready to go. It gives you time to do all those things. And also writing the warm up, your lesson plan, your workout notes on the whiteboard. We're going to have scaled intense stimulus for you. You don't necessarily have to write that on the board. You'll have that in your notes. Members will also have that on the notes as well. But the warm up and times, I want that to be written out on the board so members can see that, hey, this coach is really committed to getting me here and making me work, making me do everything I need to do, and getting me out on time. So also have necessary warm-up gear accessible if you're using bands for that day, PVCs, have those accessible and ready for the members. That way they can grab, go, do the perform the movements, and have a good time. I know me as a member, if I'm attending a class, if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna talk with Brent, or I'm gonna talk with Alex or Sam or this person or that person. So keep them engaged. You do that by preparing, knowing what you're going to do for the class. And then these are some of the duties that we're going to add. Ensure that the drink fridge is stocked. We'll show you where the stock is so that you can stock the overstock is so you can stock the fridge. This is important. You know, it does drive some revenue to the business, but it's also a way we can show care to our members in case they're needing a C4 or, you know, some energy boost or even water. Now, at the whiteboard, brief and warm up, we want to start on time. We want to condition and re educate our members that starting on time is important, not just for us as a business, but also for them to teach them not just to work out, but also to be good citizens and teach good character. So start on time, check members in. You can use this through the iPad. We could probably do this even before class. Check members in or educate and train members. Hey, make sure you check in, make sure you sign in. That's important in tallying membership attendance. Rally class with the whiteboard. Now, I use that term rally because I want, again, high energy. Hey, come on over. Let's go. Let's talk about the class, the workout. That's important. You start high, and then hopefully they'll meet you at that level. Introduce new members to class, make them feel welcome. Don't embarrass them. I mean, you guys manage classes well. I've seen you do it. But make sure you do introduce them so that they can feel welcome and seen. And then we'll do our best to make you aware of new members and skill levels. Make announcements, please. Every class, before you go through your warm up, let members know that we have things happening. So encourage members to attend our events, make the announcements, remind members of whatever's on the board. Read it, remind them of it. If you have questions about it, ask beforehand so we can help you understand what we are promoting. So you've done all that. Started on time, introduced new members. You're making your announcements. Now we're gonna brief the workout. You're going to address modalities, rep schemes, scaling options, time domains. Just go through the full workout first. Don't talk about intent yet. Don't demo the movements as you're going through the workout. Just go through the whole workout first. Um, Go through the loads, rep schemes, scaling options, etc. Just go through it first. Now, after you've gone through the whole workout, both the strength and the workout or the metcon, or if we have just a heavy day, a big metcon, then after you've done that, then demo the movements. And oops, sorry about that. Then demo the movements. So try to follow that order, so that members are fixated or at least focused on the workout first, and then we can touch on a demoing the movements to compartmentalize the structure of that. um, After you're done demoing the movements, warm up the members. So I want a general warm up and a specific warm up. I want to prioritize dynamic stretches over static stretches. So before the workout, um, yeah, this is obviously well, you know what? I'm going to program the warm ups because I want there to be unity amongst all coaches. Um, and I'll explain why I do that during the notes for the warm ups. Essentially, I don't just eliminate the whole 2 minute monostructural piece, 2 minute on a bike, go jump 2 minutes on a rower. I don't think there's a lot of intent. Instead, how about a hey, well, I'm going to write it out anyways, 45 seconds on the bike, the Echo bike, and try to keep an RPE of 7. You can explain what RP is to the members, RPE is to the members, and that's a way to educate the members as to what this whole fitness world is all about. Um, RP 7, 45 seconds. So, what does that mean for me, coach? If you have an athlete who's experienced, then hey, you keep it at 70 RPMs. If you have an athlete who's not as experienced, depending if it's male or female, 50 to 55 RPMs there to really get the heart rate up and get blood moving to their body. Um, so if a class is unattended, just wait 15 minutes after the class start time before leaving. Please, 15 minutes. So, all right, you've warmed up your members, you've done your general and specific warm up. If we have a barbell power clean, you're going to do your 10 deadlifts, 10 muscle cleans, um, five. What did I say? Power cleans, five hang power cleans, and go through that specific warm up with them. And during the workout, we want to stay fully present and engaged with athletes throughout the whole class. There's always something to cue, even if an athlete is tired. And actually, when an athlete is tired and fatigued, this is the time where athletes are most susceptible to getting injured, getting hurt when they execute poor form. So in this instance, in all instances, just be engaged with the athletes. And yes, you're gonna have to correct and you're gonna have to cue. I find it that I can correct and cue someone, or cue and correct and cue someone if I have a relationship with them, if I built rapport with them, if I know their name, their fitness goals, something about their families. It's a lot easier for me to approach this individual because they know that I care. They know that essentially I'm not trying to lord my knowledge over them. Instead, I truly care about this member and their well-being. Coach actively by modeling, cueing, modifying. You remember your L1, modeling, cueing. These are important. If a cue is not being well received, as a coach, we can use tactile cues. We can use another way of creating an analogy for them to understand, and then modify to ensure a safe and challenging training environment. Modifications are important. If someone's going too heavy, you've seen this before, you got to step in and let them know, hey, we got to reduce the weight so that you can meet the stimulus of the workout. We're going for intensity. Of course, we want proficiency with movements first. But yes, we also want to pursue intensity. And if it's too heavy or the movement is just not right for that individual yet, it's okay to deload. Coach on duty is prohibited from working out with class. Just if it's a class full of coaches, coach the coaches, make that an opportunity for you to sharpen your skills with the coaches and even ask the coaches for feedback. I know I would. If I had a class full of coaches, I definitely would ask for feedback about some of the movements, or hey, what do you think about this? And then wait for all members to complete workout before putting away gear. Remind your members of this. That way, no one's feeling like they're being neglected or left out, or or just sad about being slower than everyone. else. We want to keep high energy and keep people encouraged. And that's a good way. Remember, members, their perception of reality. So if they see that everyone's putting things away and they're not done, they might think that, hey, they're the worst. And we don't want that at all. So this is a good way to keep that from happening. After the workout, high five everyone, fist bump everyone, congratulate each member for their effort. Even ask, hey, how many rounds did you get? And no matter, it doesn't matter what they say. They can say 1 + 6. Hey, great job, man! You worked so hard. Maybe next, and you can feed forward. Hey, next time let's try to push for another 2 reps by doing XXX, and then still continuing to um, have a growth mindset and congratulating and fist bumping. Allow time for members to recover. I will have Brandon program some recovery time. Hmm. Think about that. Some recovery time, some cool down and stretch. So we'll have warm up. We'll have a brief warm up according to your lesson plan. According to our lesson plan, your lesson plan. Warm up. Sorry, brief warm up. Uh, Strength metcon if it's a heavy or a big metcon, and it'll just be there in the bulk of it. And then recovery. We really want time for recovery, cool down, so we can have a moment of debrief. So while stretching, we want to talk through ups and downs of the workout. That's important there to meet back in the middle and just have members open up. We just went through this hard thing together, as opposed to just all right, see you later, enjoy your thoughts, let them have some closure to be able to talk through it. And then remind members to clean up area, put away gear, and log the results. Part of your coaching duties is going to be to do some extra chores around the gym. So one way you can think about reminding athletes to put away gear is, say, if they don't put it away, you're going to have to put it away. So recruit them to do that, obviously in a positive and gentle tone, and have them log their scores. If they ask, I don't want to log my scores, I feel bad that I'm losing. Hey, it's not you versus them, it's you versus you. So log your scores so that you can compare your results to you in a month and see that you've gotten better. And this is why we do the open. I mean, you guys know this. Um, and of course, you can also remind them, yeah, well, I'll just leave that at that. After the workout, make sure you do all these things and then stretch. So in a hip wrist stretch, or I think you call it world's greatest stretch, in that you can ask and talk to members. Hey, what was the hardest part? What was the hardest movement? What was the easiest movement? What were you looking forward to? What do you got going on this weekend? What are your kids up to? So there are a lot of questions there we can get members to open up and talk. Because yes, this is fitness, but we also want to try to meet as many needs as possible within this hour. Obviously, needs that we can meet after class. So this is after the hour. You're checking bathrooms, check bathrooms and change if needed. Paper towels, toilet paper, bathroom trash. We'll make sure all that stuff is in the bathroom for you so that you can change it if need to. Also for the gym floor and office, that's at the end of your shift. So if you're working 2 hours, at the end of the second hour, check the gym floor, office, make sure everything's stocked. If it's full, if the trash is full, dispose of trash into the green trash bin by the road. That's going to be the trash bin there by the mailbox. So you can just go take it over there. Should take no more than a minute or two. Or you can do it for time. Maybe you can have the fastest time to change the trash. Anyways, vacuum or clean excess mess. If we have rope climb or rope shavings on the ground, it's your responsibility to clean that. If we have sand from using sandbags, we're delegating that responsibility to y'all. So make sure that it's clean at the end of your shift. And if you go into your shift after somebody else has worked and these things haven't been done, send me a picture. Please send me a picture of what's going on. That way I can make the necessary corrections. And we got to delegate this. We got to spread it out. If one person's doing all the work for everyone, it's not fair. So we want to make sure we're being fair across the board. Check spray. I guess fair is equitable. All right. Check spray bottles and refill if necessary. Again, you'll have all that you need to refill them. They're going to be in the sink. It's very easy to refill the water bottle. This is to clean equipment. I think we talked about clean members clean up area. Sorry, let me go back after the workout. Wipe down gear. Very important. Try to build that into your routine when you're coaching after the workout. I usually have a saying, hey, great job, valiant effort. Once you've recovered, once you've taken some time to breathe, wipe down your gear, put it away, log your score, and then come back up to the middle here so we can do some stretching and talk through the workout. You do that every time, you won't forget that process. Where was I? Oh, okay. And then for last class of the day, this is after you finish your 2 or 3 hour shift. Uh, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the actual last class of the working day. So that 6 p.m. class after you're going to write the next day's workout on board and lay out the floor as well with the needed equipment. If we have rowers the next day, lay that out. I think that's pretty helpful and considerate for your 5 a.m. coach to not have to worry about that. Again, if it's not done, take a picture, let me know, and I'll handle the correction. Make sure the back door is locked at the end of the last class. Turn off all lights, speaker, and make sure the iPad is plugged in for the next day. Now, with the lights, I know we have a 24/7 gym. So if someone's working out, obviously don't turn off the lights on them, but remind them to do all these things. That would be helpful. All right. So, coach schedule, it's going to be a biweekly schedule. It's going to be sent out through Slack. We're going to be using Slack for communication. Now, Slack is going to be a place where I'm going to post updates, reminders, and and I don't know, notifications. Um, but if you have any concerns regarding operations, schedule, uh, intent, stimulus, workouts, just text me directly. You all have my number now. You should have my number now. Just text me directly. I can text you back quickly. Find coverage for all scheduled classes at least 48 hours in advance if you will miss a class. If you know you're going on vacation, usually you schedule those weeks in ahead. Just let us know so we can find coverage for you, not find coverage. So find coverage so that you can go on your vacation and we all have peace while you're away. Wear CrossFit Fountain and apparel while coaching. I'm actually going to uh, get coaches shirts for all of us. I like the uniformity of having coaches shirts. That way we identify who the coach is in the class. If we have a class full of coaches, we know who's actually coaching. Now, when you get your coach's shirt, you are prohibited from wearing the coach's shirt outside of coaching. So if you have a fun event, concert that you're going to, don't wear your coach's shirt. Wear other Fountain apparel if you want to promote CrossFit Fountain. We want you promoting, obviously, but the coaching shirt is pretty much a uniform. And then attend one class a week and log a score. Attend one class a week and log a score. We are going to mandate that. And it's just a way for members to see that you guys are normal people. I understand there's that competitive group in the back corner who's just killing it, and I love that. Gosh, I love when you guys are out there killing it. I wouldn't jump in there back. I wouldn't jump back there because I don't want to die myself. But you guys are a special breed, and I love that. But I also want you guys to partake with the members in our classes so that they can see that hey, you guys are normal people. You're fun, loving, and the same fun-loving people that I know you guys are. I want them also to see, and then log a score. That way, you have that aspiring member who wants to be like a Brandon or a Tony or a Jimmy. They can see, wow, these guys are actually kicking butt and their programming or their workouts are working. They're putting in some extra time. Maybe I need to do that as well. All right, where am I? Good. So I guess before I go to coach's compensation, I'll mention this. So I've been blessed. Sammy and I have been blessed to have our full times allow us to dictate our schedule. With that said, it does give us a lot of time freedom. I would love to utilize my time freedom to continue to spend time with my kids and family. But I understand owning a business is going to absorb a lot of that time. And I am committed to coaching every class if I need to. So if these duties are not performed, actually, let me just go over here adherence to policy because everything else is just other stuff. So if we're not compliant to the policies to what I'm expecting you all to do, I will have to lessen your hours. So I understand that there's going to be some corrective conversation. It's obviously I'll try to be fair and have conversations and see your point of view and see your thoughts and move on from there and hopefully come up with a goal that would work for both of us. But if we're not adhering to the policies and not following through with the duties and expectations that we're asking of you, then I'm going to change termination because you guys are contractors, 1099, so not employees, so I can't really terminate you. But I would just ref, not refuse. I would just say, hey, you know what? Maybe we're going separate ways. So allocate the hours that I was giving to you to someone else who's going to fit that mold. Um, I understand change is not easy. I have my way of doing things when it comes to operations, and we need this right to work for both of us. So I think ultimately the policies and the duties are cut out to make it easier on you to know what to expect, so there are no surprises, and also simplified for me to know that you're meeting these goals, and for me to celebrate you for meeting these goals. Okay, hopefully I was clear on that. So, coach compensation: coaches are paid $20 per hour for classes taught. This is where I'm going to change. Actually, let me change it live because I think I could. Oh, look at that. So, what we're going to do is, because I am asking so much more of you than you've been asked before, I'm going to reduce. I say I'm like the Lord over this. No, we came together and agreed that 8 classes a month will equal a free membership for coaches. I can hear the applause going. You guys are going insane and crazy over this. 8 classes a month. Okay, so what does that mean? I think a good example here, Emily, you coach Monday, the 5 and 6 a.m. 2 times 4, you do that 4 times. That's your free membership. So 2 classes a week, you get your free membership. And I'm doing this because I want to invest in you all. I think the best way for me to invest in you, for us to invest in you all, is to offer this awesome, amazing product that we believe in, that people are paying upwards to $270 for in memberships for couples. We believe in this product. We believe in it so much that we think gifting it to you for 8 classes a month is a way for us to show you that we care, that we love y'all so much. We want you to be happy. We don't want you to think, oh man, if I don't coach X and X amount of classes, I won't get this membership comp, and then I'm going to have to pay for it. Listen, we want you to work out. We want you to be happy. And we want all these things. Yet we are asking more of you. And we're not asking things that I don't think you can't do. I believe that you can do all these things. And I wouldn't ask you of things that I haven't done myself or we haven't done ourselves. So, uh, 8 classes a month. So that's 2 classes a week equals to free membership. And then if you're traveling, or if you have an emergency, it's not going to affect it. We'll consider that obviously. Less than 8 classes would equal discounted membership rate. So if there's a coach that we have, I don't think we have any coaches that coach less than 8. Um, and if we do, we can talk through that. Anyways, 8 class. Well, let's get. I essentially want to bolster our staff. I want to have more able coaches that are happy, that are motivated, that are high energy, that are knowledgeable, that are compliant. And I like a big team. I do. I really do. Why? We can look out for each other. We can um, just have a stronger front where we all share the vision, and I enjoy that. So with that said, I think this is pretty clear. I know some of you guys are coaching than um, more than 16 a month, and we can have that conversation in our one-on-one. You can say, hey, George, I just want to meet the two for the free membership, and I'm okay with that. If that means I can coach less, I understand. That's up. That's on the table. If there's somebody that's like, hey, George, you know what? I want to coach more. I need more hours. We can talk about that as well. I will say this: I need to, just to make sure that I'm reaching every member, I need to coach every class. Wait, I need to coach every class once a week. So I'll coach the AM on a day. I'll coach the 9 a.m. on a day. The 10 a.m. that's a pretty niche community. I can just go in and show face. I'm okay not coaching that one. The 1 p.m. I need to go in and coach, and then the evening classes. So I'll dictate what that looks like, and we can talk through that as well. Personal training is still up for grabs. I like the rates that we're discussed here. I think this is Alex rate. So 20 per hour for non-members, 15 hour for members. Package, the sessions are what you see here. So the 20 is for us, and then you can dictate to your member how much they want to pay. For example, if you say, "Hey, I charge 60 an hour," um, then 20 goes to us, and then you keep the 40. I think that's a pretty good exchange. Or if you say 30, keep 10, give us a 20. For non-members, for members 15, and such. So you can kind of dictate your price there and earn commission on your top. And then of course, you get a discount when you do more sessions. Um, if you have family members that are in town that want to drop in, that's going to be $10. If you have a competition or team member that you're going to compete with and they want to drop in, that's also $10. All right, open gym policy. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Coordinate with coach on duty. Adhere to the needs of the class. So class has priority for equipment and space. Coaches manage fans, music, doors. Uh, this right here, I know we've had some issues with, and I like to just nip this in the butt. Hey, whatever the coach on duty says goes. And if open gymmers are upset with that, um, you got to let me know. Text me individually. You have my number. We can address that individually. But at the class, I need that coach to have full authority of everything that goes on in that gym. I cannot have members seeing coaches argue. That is a big no no. That's members. It's about our members. You got to ask yourself, hey, what is your why? Right. So my why, I'll tell you right from the beginning, is my wife and kids. Right. That's my why. This We bought in, and I'm realizing the profit margin is very low. Yet I want my kids to see what a successful business looks like, what a happy community, successful business looks like. So if I see dispute, if I see disarray, if I see disunity among our coaches, specifically over this, I would have to say, hey, I can't give you guys ours. This needs to be settled, and if it cannot be settled, then we'll just pursue different coaches because we need unity. I will stress that we need unity. And if I can develop it in you all, then I'll have to find people who will. And there's people out there. I mean, I love you guys. I care for you all. But there's got to be a time where we say, hey, it's just not a good fit. And I'm okay to have that conversation. I want you to be happy. And if you're not happy because you're fighting for gym floor, an open gym, then maybe this place isn't for you. All right, check into open gym on tablet by front door. Everybody's got to check in. On the tablet by front door, and I'm gonna try to make it possible on push press. I think you can, where you can have the coach also check in as well. That way I can see your time, what time you check in, and I can use that as a point of accountability. Make minimal noise. I don't know why I put minimal. Make no. Well, I guess because it's impossible to make no noise, right? So I'll just keep it at minimal. Minimal noise during coaching instruction. So this is not just during the whiteboard brief. This is also if a coach is stopping class to coach or instruct, or if a coach is needing to instruct a member during a workout. It's got to be quiet. We got to be able to hear the coach. I've been at a gym where I've been mic'd. I've had a lapel microphone, and yeah, I kind of liked it, but I don't know if I want to move in that direction. Anyways, make minimal noise during coach instruction. And that's not just during the brief or the debrief, it's during the whole class. We need to be able to hear the coach. The coach takes priority. Wipe down and put away gear after use. You won't have a coach there reminding you to do that. So coach, if they're open gymmers, it's your responsibility now to remind the open gymmers to wipe down and put away their stuff. Again, if things aren't put away, text me, report, be a good reporter. Text me, and I will handle that. I don't need you guys to handle and pick fights or battles. I can take care of that. I have no problem doing that. You guys just focus on the members. Have the best hour of your day. I live really close. If there's something egregious that I need to stop by the gym and address, I will gladly do so. And then use proper movement patterns. Open gymmers. Uh, I guess this is like our manual, but I probably need to print this out and put that somewhere. But there's no assigned coach. Coach, I want you to take care of the members that we have. So Yeah, we got to stress that they use proper movement patterns because there's no coach. Some of you guys are really good enough to be able to, wander over there and be like, "Hey, your back is rounded. Try to roll your shoulders back, throw your hips back." All these awesome cues that you can use. All right, I think the biggest thing here is this part here. Coach on duty. Coach on duty has to say of what happens on the open gym. And coach, please let me know if an open gymmer is giving you a hard time. Please let me know. I'm like, oh, please give me that first conversation to have so I can address it and nip it in the butt. All right, drop-ins and first timers. Drop-ins are $20 per class, 60 for the week. That can be purchased on the website. I mean, I don't. This will be in the playbook. If you want to refer, oh, I guess maybe this part. It is the coach's responsibility to ensure every athlete is signed in before class. This is important. Please have every athlete sign in before class. Okay, I'm telling you once here. I say maybe after two more times of letting you know, then we're gonna have to start cutting some hours. And gosh, this is very easy to do. I understand it's a new practice. Write it somewhere. Set a reminder in class. Create those parameters so you remember to have people sign in. And then other gym procedures. If you have a random visitor come in, focus on the coaching. Focus on the coaching. We don't need you to sell product. We don't need you to. It's not your responsibility. Focus on the coaching. So you can greet the guests, obviously be cordial and civil. Greet the guests and let them know class requires your full attention. And hey, they're welcome to watch and see what we do. Let me put that in. Put italicize it because that might be kind of weird, right? I don't know. Let me think about that one. If they want to be contacted, direct them to our website, chat, or email. That's probably the best way. Hey, we're currently holding class. You can reach out to ownership via website. Push press is really good, which is giving us leads. I like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that. Boom. Live update version 2.0. Let's go. Already improving. All right. So, and then children classes are for ages 14 plus, unless approved by management. I know I have a son who's not 14, who's 12. He moves like a 32-year-old, but he is approved by management because he moves well. He keeps things safe. Granted, well, we have a coach there who's going to report to us and let us know, hey, albeit Simon it moves well, he's not being mindful of his space around him. Let me know. That's important. I need to know that kind of stuff, even if it's Simon or even Ellie. So we will have some families come in who I know they're kids and they move well. So we'll make that judgment case by case. But still, be a good reporter and let me know if I was wrong, if maybe I overestimated this kid. Younger children are to remain in kids' room until parents pick up. I understand there's some kids that get out of there and open the door and ask for mom and dad. Um, be a good reporter. Let me know if that's happening more often and if it's risking the child's safety. Let me know and I'll have that conversation with the parent. Manage the class and you let me know if anything crazy is going on. And then yeah, there you go. Notify management if issues arise with parents and children. I don't need you guys getting into arguments with parents over their values and how they raise their kids. Let me handle that. Retail sales, items may be charged to a member's account, paid via Venmo. You've known this, or cash. If paid with cash, place it in the cash box before leaving. Do not leave cash on desk. This is in the office. Put the cash on in the office at some point. When will you do that while coaching? We'll explore that. And then adherence to the policy. I know you just signed something with Alex 6, 7 months ago. Um, what I'm going to do is upload this document onto the staff push press account. So on your member account, you're going to see a document that's been added that you need to sign. So if you want to continue to coach here, three things need to happen. We need to have that one-on-one. I'm going to go ahead and set a timeline. Um, I say by next week, if we don't have that one-on-one, this policy sign on push press and one-on-one policy sign and are on Slack. If these three things aren't met by next Friday, close of day, which will be, I'm looking at the date now. next Friday, the 6th, February 6th. Okay, then we will have to cut hours. Okay, and until we get those three things done, we can't have you coaching. Oh, I did forget one thing. Continual growth. I want every where am I be timely commit to continue. I want every coach to be certified in with an L1, L2, but it has to be a current certification, not expired. Current certification. So I'm not sure who doesn't. I haven't gone on the CrossFit site to see who hasn't or who doesn't have it or whose L1 is expired. But I'll be checking that this week and then sending you a message like, "Hey, what are your plans?" As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and set a date here for three. Well, one is mine. I'll be fair. January, February, March, April, 4. Let's go 6 months. 6 months to get your to get recertified or your L2. I want concurrent certifications. Okay. So four things. Uh well, three things. Deadline next week, February 6th, close of day, which will be our last class, 6 p.m. And to have those three things, this signed, a one-on-one, and Slack account. And then 6 months from now, from this date, which will be 130, we all need to have our certification. Um, we all need to have a concurrent certification. So not expired. So if you're good, if you're within that window, hey, one less thing you have to worry about. If you've already done all of it, great. Perfect. If you've done none of it, you got time, but we got to get that done. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Watch this video before our one-on-one, and hope you all have a great rest of your day. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye.